What is going on, guys? It's your boy, DBGTX-YT, and we're coming back with another discussion video. And this video is centered right around Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. And it's more focused on the story element, the story outline, and how long the game is going to be based on that. I know I've touched upon it in my last two videos, but I want to make a specific video on this in particular because a lot of my fellow colleagues are calling that the game is going past the Frieza arc, that it'll probably end at the Cell arc, having, Goku perform the ultimate sacrifice or something like that. And to me, I am one of the few that are right now stating that that's not even correct, remotely correct in that sense, because how do I explain this? The storyline has more Goku than anything else in the first three arcs than the rest of the series. So it makes sense if the game and look at that. I'm already starting to give you guys the explanation. Here's only the intro of the video. So make sure, if you're new, make sure you hit that sub, that like, that share if you like these discussions. If you are returning, make sure you share the information and whatnot, and put the word out there, and we get this discussion going. Let me go ahead and let that intro play, and then after that I'll go ahead and start my topic. What's going on, guys? So, the first clear indication of this game going only up to a certain point is the title of the game. Believe it or not, Dragon Ball is the story of Goku, Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball Z expands the story, so the story is not just centered around Goku the majority of the time, which is why a lot of people say, like, oh, Dragon Ball's so repetitive, you're just sitting around waiting for Goku to arrive and save the day. That's the essence of partially essence of Dragon Ball Z. That's due to Dragon Ball Z. That's how Dragon Ball Z is set up. So from the get-go, it's already establishing that it's a Goku-based game. You're going to be using Goku for God knows how long. You may be using Piccolo at one point. You may use Gohan at one point. You may even use Vegeta at one point for like a mission or two. But the majority of the missions here are going to be set up. For Goku. You're going to be in the open world for Goku, and from the director's own voice, he said they're trying to stick as close as possible to the games, not to the games, to the stories, to the actual anime and manga storyline. So they're trying to be as faithful as possible. So even the open world portion of it, it's crazy to say that, but even the open world portion of it has that mind frame set there. It's not open world like that where you could just go wherever you want. It's not a la Red Dead Redemption where you can just go ahead and, let's say, like Syriac said in his video, where you can go ahead and go to Kami's Lookout whenever you want to go to Kami's Lookout. Or if you want to go to West City, you could just go to West City from the get-go. It's not set up like that. The game is set up that there is a story time, a storyline, or a story time period that you could do certain things. So that goes back to what I originally stated, which is that once you finish the game, then the world opens up to you to the point where you're able to pick to go back to Namek or fly around on planet Earth and things like that, which opens up the availability of being able to do the DLCs that I mentioned in my prior video, where I expect Cooler and and Cooler's Revenge and the Return of Cooler, those two movies to be adapted into the game as the DLCs, and maybe the first Broly movie. But I can't sit here and tell you guys that I expect more than the Frieza arc. My wholehearted beliefs is that they need material for the next game. Y'all guys need to, everybody needs to understand that, okay? This is not a one and done thing. If this game is successful, they're going to need a second one. And if you come out with a second one and the second one is successful, they're going to need materials for a third one. Okay? Everybody's like, well, you got super. You know, you got super content. Yes. When you look at it in that perspective, you have to go ahead and count the fights that were in super, how they played out in super, and all that good stuff. And like, that's a whole different ball game there. That's where you could focus so many things, so many elements, so many other characters, so many other stories into game 2. Why not focus on game 1, on putting it out there and making this game be the best as possible? Focus, condense the storylines, because it makes sense. Makes perfect sense if you're starting from the 23rd Budokai Tenkaichi. If you start at the end of that, and you learning, and that's the tutorial page, or whatever the case might be, or the fight Piccolo on his giant form, and you learn how to do giant fights there, long range attacks, the ending of it, the beam clash, all that good stuff. All that was included in that particular fight, which means that you can go ahead and make a tutorial out of that, and then grind mode starts from there. You can even start the grind mode from that point right there to go into the Saiyan Saga. But if they are smart, in which I know they will, just the fact that this particular game trailer I'm playing right here is just the battle portion of the game, of the gameplay trailer. But if you watch that 10-minute plus gameplay trailer, Goku meets up with Android 8. That's a Dragon Ball character. Not even Dragon Ball Z, that's an original Dragon Ball character. So if they're paying homage to side characters from Dragon Ball, more than likely you're going to end up meeting Tao Pai Pai out there, Cyborg Tao. You're going to probably run into side quests doing for Krillin, for Tien, for, you know, all the Z fighters and things like that. You probably end up running into Launch, for Pete's sake. You see what I'm saying? So all of this is going to be tied into side quests, into you doing little side missions and learning about different things, you know, learning the environment, building up a skill tree. If you do it right, you can add the Garlic Jr. movie, the Dead Zone. I can see the Dead Zone being added to this game. I could see that. Like, I could see the Tree of Might added into this game somehow, you know, as a mission. There's this happening, blah 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 blah. You do that, you do the first main story right here, and then you can go ahead, instead of going directly to Namek, you could explore, and you could do, let's say, the first 2 movies, the first 3 movies right there. Boom boom boom, exploring after you finish the Saiyan Saga. What? That side story, that's some good content, and you have to grind for that. So then when you go to the Namek Saga, you be prepped for the first initial things with the Namek Saga, because if you start with the Namek Saga, starts off with Goku is going to be when he finally gets out of the bed, right? He starts training on the battleship, on his spaceship, which we are going to get mini games. I am guaranteeing you guys 100% we are getting mini games for his training. So we're going to get mini games for his Kaioken, for his Spirit Bomb. We're going to get mini games for the Snake Way. running along Snake Way. We're gonna also get mini games probably when he falls off Snake Way, having to run and stuff like that. And we getting mini games for fishing. We're probably gonna end up getting some type of racing game, some type of element like that. So if they feel this is filler content, these are things that you want to do to build up your friendship levels, probably to build up your skill set levels, probably to build up, you know, different moves, different portions of the game, and of course unlocking maybe, you know, medals, trophies, things like that of the sort. So that's going to be condensed in only the first portion of the game within the Saiyan Saga. You're gonna have major battles right there. You're gonna have Raditz. You're gonna have Raditz. You're gonna have Nappa. You're gonna have Vegeta. You're gonna have Grade 8 Vegeta. You see what I'm saying? What do you fit in between that? Side quests and missions and little things like helping Ader, you know, take care of Red Ribbon Army soldiers, or maybe, you know, fighting Cyborg Tao because he's attacking a random village or something like that. These are my opinions, and these are the things that why I mentioned that it is crucial if you are focusing on Kakarot. If you are focusing just on Goku, this is why I say it is crucial that this game will not go past the Frieza arc as the main vanilla game content. Now, DLC, we could get more stuff, but as far as the main of the game, I don't know why I'm telling you guys that you have to look at the blueprint of the Legacy of Goku. The Legacy of Goku did it first. It was the first one. This is basically Legacy of Goku remastered, my people. I've been saying this from day one, and the reason why I say that is because if you're filling it in like that, you have these side quests, you have these mini games, you have all these things that you are doing in order to be able to level up to get to the portion of the battle where you could actually competently fight. You know, let's say for example, Raditz at a good level, you know, without getting hammered, you know, or fight Vegeta without losing to Vegeta in 3-4 hits. You're gonna have to do these side missions, and that's gonna take up a lot of time, right? But the goal of this game is supposed to be somewhere in the ballpark. If you want to play hours grinding or whatever, you want to spend somewhere in the ballpark of 50 to 70 hours. When it comes down to JRPGs and all that stuff, 60 to 70 hours of gameplay, 50 to 60, that's good, especially in an anime game. In an anime game, you only give like 30 to 40. So if you could get 50 to 60 in this game, based off side missions, based off movies, based off the actual story canons, you know, and then building it up to the final Frieza versus Goku thing, and then check this. And then you go ahead and give us a teaser for the next game. We get the final thing wouldn't be with Goku. See what I'm saying? The final fight wouldn't be with Goku. The final fight would be with Trunks. This is me thinking. I'm thinking about it in the sense that that'd be an amazing ending, because the end of the big Goku becoming the legendary Super Saiyan thing, and Goku having a major in everything is there. After that, the Android Saga, Goku was knocked out the majority of the time. I explained that to Rhymestyle yesterday. I told Rhymestyle, I'm like, after the Namek Saga, you get the Android Saga. The Android Saga has Goku fight Android 19, right? And then gets knocked out. You don't see Goku ever again till Cell's second form. That's a lot of episodes and a lot of chapters down the road, right? And then what you're going to do is essentially what? Get training? Are we really gonna get fill? Like, we're going to get fill of training? I don't think so. I don't I personally don't think that they'll do that. That they're going to go ahead and say, oh, you train for 2 years, or you do the trainings and the side missions or whatever that'll push you into the Android saga. After Trunks tells you, that the androids are coming, and then you fight Android 19 or whatever the case might be, or you do things so that it leads you up to Android 19, like finding Android 19 in the city. I could see maybe, I guess you could say maybe if you really want to fill things out like that, you can. Like you having to walk through the city trying to find the androids and stuff with Goku, and then fighting Android 19, and then training with Gohan in the hyperbolic time chamber, them putting in different things like that, and then between the 10 days of the Perfect Cell games or whatever the case might be, they're giving you probably the search for the 7 Dragon Balls, and then you finally Goku versus Cell, and then you maybe give the controller over, or you find the final fight is with Gohan or something like that. Like, I could, those are possibilities, but tell me, what sounds more interesting to you guys? Leave your comment in the comment section. Tell me what sounds more interesting to you guys in this sense. A game fully packed with solely Goku learning all this stuff and getting acquainted to the new style, perfect art style, animation, graphics, and all that stuff, and you get a teaser of the other characters that you could possibly play, right? And that's me talking arcs 1 through 3. That means Budokai, the 23rd tournament, like I've mentioned before, all the way up to the Frieza arc, and getting some DLCs. DLC 1 and 2 and 3 probably being the Return of Cooler, and the Dragon Ball Broly, Dragon Ball Z, the Legendary Super Saiyan. Those are my opinion on the 3 DLCs that will come if there is DLC content for the game. On that other note, you'll get a lot of grinding, a lot of training, a lot of good story if they do like what I'm saying. And I know if they're filling things in with mini games and such, like just for the first 3 arcs, you could get a lot of things done. I'm telling you. I think that if they do it with option B, which is, again, like I said, which sounds better, option B would be they go ahead and they just give us all the way up to the Cell Saga or something like that, Majin Buu Saga, and then it just feels, I don't know, like you're going to be in this, I guess you could say what you're going to be doing more so is going to be grinding and doing little side quests and things like that. If you're just going to be playing with Goku and maybe 2 more characters, 3 more characters, or whatever the case might be, I think that's dropping the ball. That's my personal opinion, dropping the ball on something that could be a saga or a trilogy, and you could improve per game. And then by the time you get to the third adaptation, we got the whole the Dragon Ball Super content going on. You see what I'm saying? And then and that's my opinion. That's my opinion. So, bottom line, in my opinion, is that from the looks of it, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot will not go past the Frieza arc. Every indicator is telling us, if the obvious is telling us, is that it's not going to go past the Frieza arc. I've explained why. And I think that everybody has a right to their opinion. You guys are more than welcome to go ahead and drop a discussion thread down below. Comment, let me know what you guys think as to your opinion, if you think that the game should go past the Frieza arc, or if you think that it's a solid idea that, you know, that they give us those three arcs which concentrate more solely on Goku and his things and whatnot, and then giving us a lot of, you know, side quests, missions, movie arcs and such, and filling it up like that for the first game, and then continuing the second game with a bigger cast of available characters, more scenes, more stuff. Especially if you think about it on the PS5, this is coming on PS4. But imagine if the second version of this game is on a PS5, the fidelity of graphics, the things that CC2 can do for the game will be amazing, and it's already amazing right now. So with that being said, I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and enjoy everything that I was mentioning here. If you did, again, make sure y'all hit that sub, that like, that share. Show the boy some love. We are on our way to 1,300 subs. We're at 1,210. So see what happens, and let's continue pushing. DBGTX over and out.